Imagine this, it's 2 a.m., and you're walking down a narrow alley in an ancient neighborhood of Seoul. The neon lights from the shops above start to flicker out, and the streets are becoming unnervingly quiet. You hear the soft sound of footsteps, only they're not yours. You look over your shoulder, and for a moment, you catch a glimpse of something. Of someone. A figure standing too still, too quiet, too perfect. By the time you blink, it's gone. But you swear you heard its footsteps and felt its presence, cold and unnerving, just behind you. This isn't just a story, this is a warning. A warning for a world where the line between life and death blurs, where the past refuses to stay buried, and where the supernatural waits just beyond the veil. Before we get started, I want to remind you that if you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe, as it helps a lot. And please let me know, what country's ghosts should we visit next? But for now, welcome to the dark side of South Korea, and of course, welcome to the Glimp. South Korea is a country where the line between the living and the dead fades into nothingness. The culture here is steeped in superstitions, many of which trace back to Korean shamanism, known as Muism, which flourished during the Joseon dynasty. These beliefs are not just ancient traditions. Even today, they shape everyday life. Writing names in red ink is seen as a death omen, a relic of an old practice that comes from China, where execution orders were written in red. Dreaming of pigs is said to bring fortune, and it is believed up to a point that some people here even buy lottery tickets after such dreams. And like many other Asian countries, the number 4, which sounds like the word death, is avoided, much like the number 13 in Western cultures. Even in modern Seoul, these superstitions persist, and in Korean horror movies, you will find a lot of it. The movies they produce here are among the most unsettling in the world, blending folklore, trauma and psychological terror. Films like The Wailing, A Tale of Two Sisters, and Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum do not simply aim to scare. They disturb. They linger. They stay with you for weeks after you've watched them. Maybe it has to do with the country's painful history, wars, invasions, and suffering, that has left an imprint on the land, and on the people. Horror in Korea is not just fiction. It is a reflection of real fear. Because in Korea, unseen forces still hold power. Korean supernatural beings fall into 3 categories: Mindam, Shinhwa, and Jeonseul. Most of Korea's spectral entities are drawn from 2 realms, Mindam, the folklore, and Shinhwa, the myths. The word Shin itself translates to spirits, ghosts, and all that lurks beyond our world. But among these restless souls, a few are more feared than others. In Korean mythology, Jeoseung Saja, the Grim Reaper, plays an essential role in escorting souls to the afterlife. Unlike the Western Grim Reaper, who is often depicted as a skeletal figure in a hooded cloak, the Jeoseung Saja is more of an ethereal guide, ushering souls into the underworld. There is no escape from the Jeoseung Saja's reach, and once you're marked by death, there's no turning back. At the helm of this underworld is Yeomna, the ruler of the afterlife. Yeomna is responsible for judging the souls of the dead, weighing their deeds and determining their fate in the afterlife. He's often depicted with terrifying, intense features, surrounded by flames or sitting on a throne made of skulls. Those who try to escape their judgment or refuse to leave the realm of the living, may incur the wrath of both Yeomna and the Jeoseung Saja. The fear of the Jeoseung Saja is so deeply ingrained in Korean culture, that it is believed the souls of the dead wander if they don't receive proper burial rites, or are wronged in their lifetime, sometimes returning to haunt the living. One of these ghosts among them is the Egg Ghost, a terrifying figure from South Korea with a smooth, featureless head shaped like an egg. This ghost represents profound loss, of identity, life, and memory. It haunts the living, erasing memories and leaving only emptiness. The origins of the egg ghost vary. Some say it's the restless spirit of someone who died in emotional turmoil, while others believe it's a manifestation of forgotten souls. What's certain is its ability to consume memories, stripping victims of their past, connections, and sense of self. As memories fade, confusion sets in, and victims often experience a chilling sense of déjà vu, as if something important has vanished but can't be placed. Unlike more aggressive spirits, the egg ghost doesn't scream or confront its victims. Instead, it lingers in the background, like a forgotten thought, until it has consumed what it came for. Slowly, it erases memories, making people forget names, events, and even the passage of time. In more extreme cases, it's said to alter written records, making it seem as if a person never existed at all. Entire families or individuals may vanish without a trace, leaving behind only an eerie sense of loss. The egg ghost is a haunting reminder of the fragility of memory. In a digital world where memories can be lost with a click, its legend emphasizes how easily identities and histories can disappear. Victims may experience strange phenomena, forgotten times, unfamiliar faces, or altered memories, leading to an overwhelming sense of isolation. The egg ghost endures as a chilling reminder of what can happen when we are forgotten. Besides the memory-erasing terror of the egg ghost, another chilling spirit haunts South Korea, the Kong Kong ghost. Unlike the egg ghost, who consumes memories, the Kong Kong ghost brings fear with her twisted form and eerie hops. Her name comes from the rhythmic, Kong Kong, sound she makes, a noise that strikes terror into those who hear it. To understand her curse, one must first hear the tragic story of the student she once was. The Kong Kong ghost is the vengeful spirit of a high school girl who was driven mad by the pressure of always being second best. Two girls, fiercely competing for the top spot in their class, know that only one can secure a future at the best university. Overcome with jealousy, the second best student pushes the top student off the rooftop, causing her death. The tragedy is dismissed as a suicide, and the now number one student seems to get away with it. But the guilt of her actions soon returns in the form of the Kong Kong ghost. Transformed into a monstrous spirit, the girl now hops unnaturally, her body twisted and her face frozen in an eerie, upside-down expression, expressing the way she fell from the building. The Kong Kong sound follows her every movement, growing closer until she claims her victim. Unlike other spirits, she doesn't chase, she simply follows. Her presence is marked by the constant noise of her hops. Once you hear it, there's no escape. The Kong Kong ghost is a haunting reminder of the pressure to always be the best and the deadly consequences of letting the drive turn to violence. Her story reflects the dark side of competition. Once you hear her, you cannot escape. After encountering spirits like the egg ghost and the Kong Kong ghost, it becomes clear that these otherworldly forces can drive you to madness. The terror lingers, distorting your mind, and when it snaps, you may end up in places like Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital, where reality and insanity are blurred. Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital, now abandoned, was once a functioning psychiatric institution. Over the years, rumors of mistreatment, tragic deaths, and mysterious experiments surrounded it. As the hospital fell into ruin, it became infamous, attracting urban explorers and paranormal enthusiasts. Many claim to hear strange noises, see ghostly figures, or feel an overwhelming sense of dread that seems to seep from the very walls. The hospital's dark history ties not only to physical suffering, but to psychological torment, with some saying that a visit to Gonjiam can warp your mind, causing hallucinations and a sense of losing control. The building's eerie silence amplifies the fear, and the longer you stay, the more your perception of reality becomes distorted. The legend of Gonjiam was immortalized in the 2018 Korean horror film Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum. The film follows a group of people who enter the abandoned hospital to document supernatural events, but soon their minds begin to unravel. While fictionalized, the film captures the essence of Gonjiam's terrifying atmosphere, where the supernatural and mental collapse intertwine. Today, Gonjiam stands as a grim reminder of the fine line between sanity and madness. The hospital isn't just a place where ghosts linger, it's a place where fear consumes your mind. Once you enter, you may never fully escape the grip of its haunting presence. Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital is not the only haunted place in South Korea. In fact, there are many more, each with its own dark history. One such place is the Jayu-ro motorway, a foggy stretch of road in Gyeonggi province, near the North Korean border. It's here that a chilling ghostly figure appears, one that leaves a lasting, terrifying impression. This ghost, a woman draped in a long coat, is often seen with what seems like dark sunglasses. But upon closer look, you'll realize her eyes are hollow voids, dark and empty, absorbing all light around them. Her appearance has puzzled and terrified those who've encountered her. Her story gained traction in 2007, when a medium on a TV show uncovered her tragic story. The woman, in her 20s, was strangled to death on this very road. Her restless spirit now haunts it, searching for answers, or perhaps vengeance. Driving along the motorway at night, the thick fog reduces everything to a haunting silence. Some claim to see her in the rearview mirror, her dark eyes fixed on them. Once she's noticed you, there's no escape from her gaze. The closer you get, the more you feel her presence, cold, suffocating, and inevitable. With its eerie fog and proximity to North Korea, the Jayu-ro motorway remains a place where the living and the dead are separated only by a thin veil, a constant reminder that some roads are never truly empty. After exploring the eerie presence on Jayu-ro motorway, it's clear that some spirits are tied to the land, others to the forces of nature. Just as roads and buildings can hold restless souls, so too can the waters that surround us. In the depths of these waters, a terrifying spirit stirs, Mul Gwishin, the water ghost. Unlike the ghosts tied to land, Mul Gwishin is bound to the waters, forever lingering in rivers, lakes, and seas. In Korean folklore, water is not just an element, it's a gateway between the living and the dead. This makes the water ghost especially terrifying, as she can cross between worlds, haunting those who encounter her. Her origins are tragic, often the spirit of a woman who drowned, either through betrayal, grief, or misfortune. Just like the ghost on Jayu-ro motorway, her eyes are described as dark voids, reflecting the endless depths of the water that consumed her. Mul Gwishin is tied to several famous sites in Korea. Near the Han River in Seoul, legends say you can hear her cries or see her figure rising from the water. In rural areas, people report a sense of being watched, and some even claim to hear strange voices. These sites are considered gateways where the spirit can cross over, and many believe that encountering her means you will never escape her grasp. Following the haunting presence of the water ghost, we now turn to another chilling category of spirits in Korean folklore, baby ghosts and child ghosts. These spirits embody the fears of untimely death and the loss of innocence. Baby ghosts are the restless souls of infants who passed away too soon, often heard crying in the dead of night. These spirits are typically female, reflecting the deep sorrow and fragility associated with the death of a child. In modern horror films like The Doll, the presence of a baby ghost evokes both sadness and terror, symbolizing unfulfilled lives and the grief that lingers. On the darker side, child ghosts are more vengeful, often the spirits of children who met violent or unjust deaths. They are usually male, known as dongja, reflecting the aggressive nature of their tragic ends. Dongja ghosts are known for seeking revenge, as seen in films like The Wailing, where their anger and violent deaths manifest as eerie hauntings. Both baby ghosts and child ghosts remain prominent in Korean media, from movies to books to TV dramas. These spirits serve as powerful reminders of the fragility of life, unresolved grief, and the darkness that can follow premature death. After exploring the tragic spirits of baby and child ghosts, we're reminded of the role age plays in the supernatural world. While young souls are lost too soon, spirits like the Hong Kong grandma show that age can also create lingering hauntings. Unlike the innocent, vengeful youth, the Hong Kong grandma represents the weight of many years, a reminder that no matter how old, unresolved pain can turn anyone into a ghost. The Hong Kong grandma is a chilling ghost story that originated from a tragic event in the late 1980s or early 1990s, during a period when airplane crashes were tragically frequent. One such crash claimed the life of an elderly woman, and her restless spirit became infamous. This ghost is particularly terrifying due to her immense speed. She can cover 100 meters in just 10 seconds. No matter how fast you run, it's said that you can never outrun her. But what makes her even more terrifying is the ritual before she kills. She will approach her victim and ask a series of questions. If you answer incorrectly, she will take your life. However, there is a chance for survival. If, at the end of your response, you add Hong Kong, you might be spared. Without it, death is inevitable. The Hong Kong grandma has appeared in a variety of media over the years, continuing to haunt the public imagination. She was featured in Korean horror movies like The Ghost, where a similar spectral figure is seen asking questions before attacking. Her legend also found a place in the popular TV show, Korean Horror Story, where characters try desperately to avoid her wrath. Speculations about the nature of her curse vary. Some believe the ghost's rapid movement and need for the Hong Kong answer are tied to unresolved trauma from the crash. Others argue that her curse represents the fear of death and the consequences of not acknowledging it. Her role in popular culture underscores how ghosts are used not just for fear but as reflections of deeper anxieties about fate and the inevitability of death. After exploring the eerie legends of spirits like the Egg Ghost, the Kong Kong, and even the Hong Kong grandma, South Korea's supernatural world only deepens. There are still many other chilling entities that haunt the living. The spirits of good-hearted women, whose gentle and benevolent nature can quickly turn deadly when betrayed or wronged. House ghosts, haunting homes with unsettling presences, leave an air of dread in the air, and lovesick ghosts, that dwell in the realm of unrequited love and longing. Each of these stories speaks to the enduring power of the past, how it lingers, how it calls, how it refuses to let go. In South Korea, ghosts are not only myths or stories, they are reflections of the unhealed wounds of the land, echoes of tragedies that continue to ripple through the generations. As we've seen tonight, these spirits represent much more than just fear. They are symbols of grief, vengeance, loss, and the complex emotions that shape the living and the dead alike. And though they may appear in many forms, whether it's the young, the old, the vengeful, or the tragic, they all carry with them the same message: the supernatural is never far away. Thank you for joining me on this dark journey into South Korea's haunted past. If you want to continue exploring more stories of the supernatural, don't forget to subscribe. And please, let me know which country's ghost stories we should uncover next. Until then, remember, the dead may rest, but they never truly leave.